Hi everyone, let's talk about Superset. Again today we are here with another video from the Superset learning series, and today we are going to talk about Superset visualization available options. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss the 22 most popular visualizations or charts available within the Superset. But before we start, let's talk about what we have covered till now, and there are videos out there. If you are not gone through them, then I suggest you watch those videos before watching this one. So we have covered how to set up Superset using Docker on your local machine. We have covered how to connect Superset to various databases. We have also covered dashboard and Superset settings in quite detail, plus customization in very detail, especially using CSS. And we have also covered custom visualization for various charts. So these are the 4 topics we have covered in detail. Videos are out there. I suggest you go and watch those videos. But let's talk about today. So today we are going to learn about the feature charts. The feature charts can be classified into 6 different categories: time series, trends, comparison, ranking, statistical charts, distributions, relationship and flow charts, geospatial, and tabular detail charts. So alright, so let me show you what I mean by that. So if you go to your Superset, and let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, right. Yeah, all right, it's working. Cool. So these are the various charts. So these are the all charts. If you go to click on all charts, you'll see there are quite a few charts available in Superset, and these charts are classified into various categories. You can see on your left side correlation. For example, in correlation we have 6 charts: bubble, calendar, heat map, pay test, and a couple of legacy charts, and distribution, etc. So you can go through for KPI. For example, we have these 5 charts. So I don't think we would be able to cover in each and every chart, to be honest. So what I thought we should do is we cover these feature charts. So feature charts are the most popular charts available within Superset. These are the most commonly used charts. So there are 22 feature charts, and I thought we should cover these charts in more detail. So let's get started. So get back to our presentation. So these 22 charts can be classified into these 6 categories. The first one is time series and trends, and my mistake, I have tabular and detail here, so this is not correct. So let me correct while we speak, so I don't need to stop this video again. And here you go. So hold on a second, just stay with me. Alright, cool. So we have time series and trends. So there are 1, 2, 3, 6 charts in time series: area chart, bar chart, line chart, mix charts, big number with trends. So area chart we use for comparison. For example, revenue versus expenses over time. These are the key fields in the area chart. The bar chart is let's discuss one by one. So let's talk about area chart first, right? So here you go. So if I go to, so I have charts open here. So if I go to chart and type area chart here, right? So there are a few area charts available. So if I click on, let's assume this basic area chart, so you can see is what it is doing is basically is sales versus order date. So these are the on the next axis you can see order date, and on y axis we have sales data available and the deal size. right? So deal size is medium, small, large, and it tells you basically 194K we have medium deals, 100K small deals, and 31K large deals, total 326K deals, and it gives you the percentage. So you can compare, different different metrics or different dimensions by size of area. So the bigger the area, bigger the size, and vice versa. So it can it's mainly used for comparison purpose. So all right. So next one is bar chart. So bar chart. One of the typical use cases you can compare, over against various bars. So for example, monthly sales by category, and the key fields could be time, metric, and category. So let's quickly have a look at the bar chart. So here you go. So if I have a quarterly sales here, you can see the sales is compared quarterly, and the larger the bar, of course, is the bigger the sales size. And I won't go into too much detail, into customization and everything, because otherwise it'll be a very long video. Let's go to revenue by deal size. So this we have done in past against. Previously, you've seen this in our what do you call it, area chart. Yeah. So we have seen the same data in the area chart, and here you can see the different deal sizes are stacked together in bars. So the area chart, of course, the bar chart more or less similar, but it's just something different way of presentation. Then we have line chart and mix chart. So let's cover both of them, line chart, mix chart. So line chart, you can the different lines represent different metrics over the time period, and the mix chart, it could be combination of, for example, if you have total revenue, you want to understand basically how much is the margin there and how much is the profit, how much is cost. You can combine it, and how your profit or margin is moving over the period of time. You can combine bar chart versus bar chart and line chart. So let's quickly go through line chart first. So line, here you go, line chart. Right, so this is okay, this one is broken, this one. So here you can see we have various car products and sales being orders being shown over the period of time. So for example, let's look at July. So July we have classic cars 22, vintage 9, motorcycle 12, trucks and buses 7, total 50. So it's, it could be anything, right? So you can have a line for profit versus line for total sales, right? So it's just, again, you can compare various metrics. You can compare stock prices. You can against, for example, if you have a stock ABC which you want to compare against how the market is performing, so you can do the comparison. And then we have mix chart. Let's cover mix chart. There you go. All right, so this is again, so what we're doing is basically here orders versus sales. So for example, in this case the sales number is 311k and the total quantity sold is 86. So what we are identifying is basically, here we have 1 million versus 301 count. So how many products we have sold and how many money we have made out of these sales. You can also do, for example, this line could be your margin or profit, and then the bar could be total sales or cost, whatever. Right. So Next we have big numbers. Big number is mainly KPI. If you want to show a one single KPI on a card, so that's a big number. And big number with the trend line is basically this is current state, and then over the period, how it performed. So big number and big number with trend line, there are two available charts visualizations. So let's look at both. Big number. Right, so here you can see the big number is very simple. 32.5 million total female participants in a program. Let's look at one more. Total number of items. So this could be anything. You can add a text at the bottom. It's quite. You can play around with the customization. Again, if you want me to cover any specific customization or any specific topic, I'm more than happy to answer either in comments or make another video. But let's go to big number with trend line. Okay, so you can see it's like 120, and then it tells you basically over the period what was the performance, right? And here you go. So it's very good data if you want to see what exactly is the position right now and what was the position. You don't need to go back and look into another data participants. Here you go. So 1.11 million, and it also tells you basically how it has performed. So over the period of 5 years, it has come down. So again, take example of stock, right? So you can see what's the price today and how did it perform, and what was the performance over the period of last 12 months, 2 years, or 5 years. So that was time series and trends. There are 6 charts. These are really great for trend analysis and time-based reporting and comparison. So next we have comparison ranking. There are 4 charts available: pie chart, sunburst chart, Treemap, waterfall charts. So pie chart, if you want to determine what's the market share of the company, what is the share of population. When you want to identify the percentage of category against the total. And sunburst is similar to pie chart. It's just you can drill down into subcategories. Treemap is a map, where you can track. For example, if there's a total revenue of 100 million, if you want to understand how each department is performing, for example, how much is coming from product A, how much is coming from product B, etc., etc. And the waterfall chart is very similar to Treemap, but it's kind of broken down. For example, you have you see at each step how much increment we have, and then you see the total value. So incremental value and the total value in terms of waterfalls. It is basically you'll see in the form of steps. So let's cover pie chart, sunburst chart, Treemap, and waterfall chart, and these are mainly used for top performers. Category breakdown, or part of a whole pie. So let's quickly go through. I'll try to cover all the categories. Let's see if we can. So first one is pie. Very quickly. Right. So do genders. Right. Yeah. Again, it's the easier one. So female, male. Very easy. Vaccination preclinical, phase 1, phase 2. So you can easily identify basically what's the portion. Right. Then we have, and there are of course various types of pie charts, so you can play around with it. Surplus. Right. So rural breakdown. Right. So here you can see, so this is of course the 2 circles in the router. So inner circle tells you the total population in East Asia Pacific. The outer circle break down further East Asia Pacific into different countries: China, Indonesia, Japan, etc., etc. So sunburst chart is basically where you want to break down further into subcategories. So that's ideal. For example, if you have, let's assume in the corporate culture, for example, in corporate circle, let's assume if you have a department which sells 15 different products and you want to further breakdown, like so you can have a departmental sales, and then you can break it down further into products. So that's very high level about Sunburst chart. Again, I'm not going into detail. If I cover each chart in detail, I think it's gonna be 4 hours long video. So I'm more than happy to cover each chart in more detail if you have a specific requirement. So Treemap, commute time, right? So you can see it's a commute time into various categories. So 1529 minutes, 1K, 30 to 44 minutes, 696, etc., etc. So what you're seeing is basically different categories represented by the size of the square, right? So and you can play around with the colors to employment style, freelancing. You can see freelancing 4/7. That's the largest square, and then you work for non-profit or work for government is 837. So you don't need to go into detail by the size of the box. You can identify the representation. And finally, let's quickly cover waterfall chart. So you go. So waterfall. This is again order data by quarter. So total for the year was 10 million, and you can see for each quarter 455K, and then in April there was an incremental 562K, and total was 1 million, and so on. So you can see basically there's a ladder or steps, and you can see at the end of the total. So this is good if you want to see the total sales, for example, and you want to see the incremental sale for each quarter or month. So these were comparison and ranking chart. Again, I said earlier, is ideal for identifying top performers, categories, breakdown, and part of the whole. Next, we have statistical. All right, so let's talk about statistical distributions charts, which are mainly used for so comparison, spread, and outlier detection. And the first one is box chart, which is mainly which can be used for comparing orders value across regions, and it help you identifying the outliers. It's mainly visualize data distribution, quartiles, and outliers. You can compare, for example, order value distribution across regions. Next one is radar chart, and radar chart is basically it looks like a radar, and it compares data across different categories. For example, if you want to compare skills across employees, and so you can choose radar chart, and you can benchmark skills, employee skills. The next one is the final one in the statistical category is scatter plot. Scatter plot, where it's mainly used for X versus Y comparison. So you want to compare price versus sales volume. So that's the main use of this chart. For example, if you want to identify the ad spend versus sales. So let's quickly have a look at how they look like. So box, radar, and scatter. So okay, go back. All right. So box plot. Right. So here's the data of the various automobiles. So classic cars, for example, you can see there are it gives you the maximum order quartile, which is 8 mean, median, first quartile is 2, 163 observation, and there are 5 outliers. So similarly for motorcycle, and let's go to vintage. Again, there are 10 outliers. So we can go into detail if you need to go in detail for this chart. So this is mainly for identifying outliers. And okay, the next was the radar chart. So radar chart, as I said, you can is mainly used to for the benchmarking. So what we're doing is basically again car sales, count, average price, and average sales. So you can tell basically which one is producing, which one has more price, which one is produced average sales on the higher side, which one's count is better. So you have everything on the same radar. For example, classic cars 967 count, average price 87, and average sales 4053. Vintage car 607, 78, 3135. So this is the main use. Next we have scatter, scatter x versus y, scatter plot. Okay, so point in time, again, what we're doing is basically we are comparing orders. So small, medium, large. So we are comparing, at this point in time, the medium was 6, small 8, and large 1, total 15. So at point in time, you can compare x versus y. So it's relatively, simple. So in next category, we have 3 charts. So let's have a look. So bubble chart, graph chart, and tree chart. Alright, so bubble. So these are relationship flow charts. With helps you with pathing and connections. So bubble charts plot 3 metrics x, y, and the bubble size. You can also there's the option to use color category. Use case is mainly you compare average price versus sales volume. For example, bubble size could be as profit. So there are 3 different metrics. Then we have graph charts. So graph charts show connections like network graph, and use case is customer referral. Or network, for example, you have or model supply chain or organization flow. So you can use filters for clarity, and then you have finally in this category tree chart. So tree chart is it can be used for decision tree, or it can use for child and parent relationship. So hierarchy. So parent child fields and decision tree. So let's quickly go through bubble graph and tree chart. So bubble is a bubble, right? So you have different cars. The classic. What we're doing is basically count and country and the sum. So there are 3 metrics, right? Each bubble. Very simple, right? So you can do the comparison. So you see x-axis, y-axis, and then you have the bubble. Next was graph. So here's the graph. So you can see different. On your right side, you have sizes. On your left side, you have the types of vehicles. So classic. You can see basically, it's linked to large. It's linked to medium, small. We have in small category, we have the classic car shapes, vintage trucks, almost everything. Medium again, shapes. Okay, and then we have large. So you can see large, we only have two options, classic cars and trains. So, okay, this is mainly used for network source target. Next we have a tree chart, parent-child relationship or decision tree. Alright, so here we can see the parent-child relationship for USA, the country, New York is the city, and then New York City, and Buffalo, and then CA, and San Francisco, and Los Angeles. So, very, very self-explanatory. Alright, what's next? Alright, Geospatial. So Geospatial is, you can track if you want to tag the locations, geographical locations. For example, if you are a fast moving consumer good company selling different geolocations or cities or countries, you can identify sales by geolocation. So let's look at word map. Here we are, word map. So vaccination by country. So this is the globe, and you can see vaccination by country. So this, instead of vaccination, this could be sales, this could be revenue, this could be anything, and this, the circle size representing the size. So it's easy to identify if you want to display metric value by country. As I said, sales by country could be a very classic use. Okay, what's next? Right, the final category we have tabular details. So table, very self-explanatory. Pivot table, if you have used, so table is mainly for transaction level or detail, and if you can be populated. Pivot table, if you use pivot table in Excel, this is you can play around with the different dimensions. Then we have a heat map where you can, for example, have a sales by hour of day and weekday. So it's mainly for drill downs and detailed view. So this is the last category: table, pivot table, and heat map. So let's quickly go through these. Table. Right. So this is a table. Classic example. We have developer type, aspiring, currently a developer, and not applicable. The three categories. Just and this is another example: order date, product line, status, price, and sales. So you can display any fields. It's nothing complicated. Then we have pivot table. Alright, so here you go. So here you can see, it's on top we have states, on the left we have names, and then we have a data, so IBKL, for example, 16K in CA, 7.82K in Florida, and etc. etc. What it said, give you is basically birth and the names. Right, so the pivot table is again very commonly used visualization. So finally we have heat map. Okay, let's use heat map. Okay, so heat map, heat map is represented by color. So for example, the largest one is black or dark blue, and as we come down, the size come down. Right, so it's just something you can classify into different categories using heat map. Let's look at another one. How do you prefer to work? Right, so again, this is the number represented by the size. So if you want to see the trade and some high school, for example, right? So freelance, start your own business, different categories, and the color represents the number. So if you're holding a bachelor degree, freelance is that 1.47K, and then work for medium-sized company 1.74K. So this is on the higher side. So instead of doing percentage, you can do the heat map. All right, so that was about it. We have covered quite a lot for Superset. I think one thing we need to cover in maybe in one more video is SQL Lab, which we haven't touched. So I'll do one more video on SQL Lab, and that will conclude this series, and we'll move to next topic, which most likely would be a Python, Django, and we'll do few exciting projects using Python, Django, and some AI frameworks available out there. So you can do anything. Django is my favorite framework. Python is my favorite language, and the sky's the limit. So bye for now. Look after yourself and people around you, and enjoy. If you have a Superset, if you click on the feature charts, if you have installed as part of installation, if you have installed sample data, so there is a dashboard called feature charts which have all 22 feature charts available. For example, this word cloud was using the big number, etc. So there are various visualization available. You can have a look and play around with it, and let me know how it goes. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, and in the coming days we'll do one more video on Superset, and then we'll switch to Python. So take care, and bye for now. Thank you.